Can you explain GPT or transformers more generally for dummies?
Totally. I'm just trying to think how for dummies. Your listeners are smart people. Everybody knows how an AI in general gets trained, how that pipeline looks like. You take some machine, you feed in a bunch of human text, and you get it to predict the next word after a bunch of human text. And then it starts to speak like a human. This is like if you had a dog and you gave it audiobooks, and then after a while, it would learn to say human words. And then you give it a lot more audiobooks, and it like was basically saying the right grammar. And you give it more audiobooks, and it like could keep some memory, And so after a while, like you say to the dog, it's like, oh, Mr. Darcy went to, and it responds, the manor. And that's great. That's great. That's a brilliant dog. Like, go on a late night show. That's awesome. Then the next step, right, is what we call reinforcement learning, where you want your model not just to be an autocomplete, but you want it to be able to interact with users. You want it to be able to like pretend to be an AI chatbot. And you also want it to not do things like tell people to kill themselves. And you want it to not do things like say slurs. So what you do then is you take your well-trained dog who loves audiobooks, and you have it just start saying things. In particular, you start saying a lot of things like, hi, I'm a dog butler, and my name is Jeeves, and I can be helpful to you, and stuff like this. And you have it repeat phrases like that a lot of the time, and it like starts to understand that maybe they're like this Jeeves persona, and it can talk like that more often. And then you have it interact with all of your friends, and whenever it says something like, hi, I'm Jeeves, I'm a dog butler, I want to pee on your foot, you hit it with a stick, because you're like, I don't want you to pee on their foot. And then it's like, oh no, and it says that last. And then whenever it does something good, like, hello, I'm Jeeves, I'm the dog butler, can I fetch you a beer? And then you give it a treat. And this is basically all that RL does, more or less. And you can use this like arbitrarily strongly. And what RL really does is it reinforces these personas that your AI is pretending to be. So if you do this long enough, you can make sure that your dog will only start every sentence saying, hello, I'm Jeeves, I'm the dog butler. And you can make sure that it will only ever be Jeeves the butler, and it will not talk about wanting to pee on your friend's foots, and it will only do the things you like and not do the things that you dislike, as long, of course, as you can measure exactly and precisely the things that you like and the things that you dislike. And the more you don't understand, the more you're making like fuzzy judgments, the more your dog might learn bad rules. For instance, there are also, this is a classic data science problem, spurious correlations. Let's say it goes up to your one friend, Dave, and it says, hello, I would like to pee on your foot, and you hit it, and then it goes to your friend, Erin, and it says, hello, can I get you a beer, and you reward it. It might think, oh, I should always offer beers and never pee on feet, or it might think, I should never talk to Dave, I should always talk to Erin. And the process of training ChatGPT is you just do this about a bazillion times until it thinks that it understands what is ChatGPT, until it thinks that it understands how it's supposed to behave in various situations. And then you put it out in the wild, you collect a lot of data about it doing things well or poorly, and then you go back and you hit it with a stick or you give it a treat again and again and again until you're satisfied.